Hello, my pack, my tribe. Welcome to GhostWolf Live. So, October 25th, we had an event at the Cross-Eyed Moose Event Center in Homeworth, Ohio that was off the hook. Holy shit. Like, here's the thing. Like, nobody showed up. So it turned out to just be us. You know, I ain't mad about it. You know, it's whatever. It would have been nice if people would have shown up because, we could have shown them what an exciting haunted location this place actually is. But, it turned into an awesome overnight investigation regardless. And the reason I'm doing tonight's show is because I want to share a bit of what happened to us and what happened around us. So, to start the night off, we went lights out, and so there were no lights on pretty much anywhere in the building except for a few side rooms like the bathroom and stuff we leave on. And then we go down into this like bar area that's in the basement, and I've got a full spectrum GoPro cam with an illuminator, and I'm sitting there and I'm filming, and all of a sudden we start to see like little light anomalies and mists and shadow figures, and at one point, okay, let me go back a little bit and explain some of the previous history that we have with this place. Two of the spirits that we've encountered is this woman. She was a Comanche woman named Rose. There's more to that name, actually. It's something like Night Rose or something. We just call her Rose. And her son, whose English name was I want to say William, but I know that's not right. Anyways, it doesn't matter what his English name was. His Comanche name was basically means horse or wild horse. In any case, the reason that this place is so exciting and everything has a lot to do with them, actually, because what they're attached to is an antique. And that's the different thing about this place. There's nothing negative here because they're all attachments. They're all attached to the antiques that are in this place. The larger majority of them actually came from Texas. And so, as some of you may or may not know, that's kind of like Comanche domain. In any case, during the late 1800s, early 1900s, this child, he was sent to one of the Catholic schools for Native children, where you were given an English name. You weren't allowed to speak your own language. You weren't allowed to practice any of your own heritage. None of that stuff. You would actually get punished severely for it. But the one thing he was able to do at that school was ride horses. And he had this saddle, which is now one of the antiques inside this area of the Cross-Eyed Moose down in the basement in the bar area. And so we've interacted with him like quite a bit. Almost every single time that we've been there, it's almost all been him, which is exciting enough. But we've only like encountered his mom, Rose, like a couple times. Well, y'all missed out. I'm just going to say that because this was crazy active. Like in my 30-year career of doing paranormal investigating, I've never been in a location that was this active on this night ever. And I've been everywhere. All the places they go to on like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters and stuff, I've been to all those locations. None of those were as active as this place on this night. None of them. Okay, so here's what happened. Like there was a lot of stuff going on, and I'm not going to have time, honestly, to talk about all of it. But one thing I do want to talk about that happened in the basement is, well, two things. One, we had a flashlight interaction where, and it's on our YouTube video, which you'll be able to see here in the very near future. We had a flashlight turning on and off to yes or no questions, which we've had before. We've had at different locations and stuff, and that's not the huge deal. Here's the huge deal about it. This spirit in question was answering yes or no questions, and I asked at one point, is this Rose? And it lit up. And just as I asked if it was Rose, my GoPro camera, which was facing the table where the flashlight was, turned off, right? And so I went over there and I turned it back on, and I went to adjust it. And as I was adjusting it, just for a brief moment, you see the full-blown apparition of a Native American woman sitting at the table where the flashlight is. Long black hair, native dress, whole 9 yards. In detail. And it's only for a split second, but if you actually freeze that frame in the video, it's plain as day. It is literally one of the most clear, concise apparition pictures that I've ever caught in my entire career. So once again, you missed out. But it gets better. So near the end of, I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and we're going to talk about some other stuff that happened in between, but I'm going to fast forward a bit till like towards the end of our investigation this night. So I've had experiences here in my own home, and as a result, I decided to do an experiment. Because what I've noticed when I'm at home is that activity has a tendency to pick up when I'm not paying attention to them. So when I'm doing something else, like watching Hulu on my computer or TV or playing video games or whatever, that's when things tend to pick up, because that's when they're actually trying to get my attention, right? So we tried this experiment where we had my GoPro cam, once again, full spectrum, pointing behind me. So it was actually me, Nora, and Becky were all there, but you only actually see me and Nora in the frame. We were actually at one end of like this bar that's upstairs, this counter or whatever you want to call it, which would have back in the day been like the actual chapel part of this church. And so we're sitting there and we're watching on Hulu How I Met Your Mother. Right, so we're watching episodes of that, and then we've got the full spectrum camera pointing behind us between like me and Nora. And while it's pointing behind us, you see this black shadow form behind us that is so thick that you cannot see through it. So, without that there, you would be able to see, like, the little, like, stage area in the front of the chapel. And then there's a door to the right, which is our friend Jen's office. You can't see any of that. Like, it blocks out the entire side where Jen's office is. You can't see the office door. You can't see the little pictures hanging up on the wall, or the little box for the controlling the air conditioning and heat and whatever. You can't see any. It's completely blocked out. That's how thick this shadow is. Well, it starts to change form. It starts to like condense and get smaller and smaller and smaller until at one point in the center of it, you can actually make out a figure, essentially an apparition forming out of this shadow. Now, what excites me about this particular thing is that, at least in my mind, it proves what I've known the whole time, and that's that they can take different forms. Just because you see a shadow person does not mean that it's evil. It's just a different form that they can take. Most likely, at least here's my theory, shadows take a lot less energy than a fully detailed apparition. But it still allows them to interact in kind of the same way. So shadow people, not necessarily evil. Doesn't mean that they're good though either. I'm just saying that it could be one or the other. It doesn't necessarily have to be something specific. Anyways, so you actually see that. Right. And as that's happening, and here's the thing that I'm excited about, because I did not even know that we actually caught this. I didn't even know at the time that this happened. So what I'm about to tell you, I had no idea about it at the time. Okay. But in the video footage, you actually see Nora get up and I think she was grabbing snacks or something off this table we were sitting at earlier in the night, or something. I'm not sure. Like Nora, like she wanders off a lot, so it could have been anything. But in any case, she gets up from her seat, which is right next to me. Right. Now, the way I'm sitting, I'm sitting forward, but I'm kind of like at an angle to one side so that my feet are kind of resting on this other bar stool to my left. All right. Nora's sitting to my right. All right, and you can clearly see my hands in the video, so you know it's not me. Becky is clear on the other side of the bar, like 3 or 4 seats away. You see Nora get up, and probably, I don't know, like 5-10 seconds after she gets up, the chair that she was sitting in moves on camera. That's in the video footage. We did not even know that that happened. We didn't discover it until we actually watched the video. Now, like, those of you that have been around us for a while, you know that typically what we would do in the past is we wouldn't even watch the video at all. We would just cobble it together, slap a intro section on it, and just release it without even watching it. We decided not to do that this time, for a couple of reasons, because there were a lot of things going on that we knew about that, because of things that were happening that night, mainly that my GoPro cam was getting turned on and off a lot. Like, I would turn it on and then it would last like maybe 10 minutes or something, and then it would turn off again. And it was full power. They kept messing with our electronics in that way, which they'd never really done before. So I was checking it to make sure that, you know, what I thought we caught, we actually caught, which we did, thank God. Anyways, so, but this we didn't even know about. We had no clue that this had even happened. And it doesn't move a lot. It's subtle, but it's close enough to the camera, and it's enough that you can see it move, and there's nothing there. Now, what's exciting to me personally about this is because of what happened to me specifically when the cameras weren't rolling, when we didn't have any devices going. It was after we had stopped the investigation for the night. They have these lovely suites because they do like a lot of like wedding events and receptions and stuff, and they actually have a bride suite and a groom suite, you know, for like the night before, how you're not supposed to see each other, yada yada yada. And they were very gracious in allowing us to sleep in the suites for the night, which was awesome. And I'm kind of winding down from the investigation. I'm just hanging out in the suite we were in, which me and Nora stayed in the groom suite. And I realized I left something. I think I left like my coffee or something in the chapel area by the little bar up there, or whatever it is. And so I go back in to get it. Now, at night, there's this, everything's locked. So the only way we can get in is there's like a combination lock on this side door. So we go in and out of there. And so I went back, I unlocked the door, went inside, grabbed whatever it was that I was grabbing. And when you go in that side door, there's like the side door, there's some stairs to your left that go down into the basement on the other side. There's like a door in front of you that's probably like an office or something, I'm not sure. And then a door to the right, which leads into the chapel, right? So when I'm on an investigation, I'm very much in the habit of making double sure that doors are closed when I go through them. Because I don't want there to be any false evidence about, you know, doors opening and closing. And I do that 100% of the time, whether cameras are rolling or not, right? And I know for a fact that I did the same thing this night. So I'm coming through the door, and I remember I turned around, I grabbed the doorknob, and I closed the door, and I kind of gave it a little push until I heard the latch click. Right? You know how when you close the door, you hear that little click. It's the like little bolt inside the door making contact with the latch, right? So I hear the click, therefore I know it's closed. And I turn around and I just put my hand on the door to the outside, and I turn it and I just open it just a crack. Like not even enough that you can see light from the outside coming in yet. I mean, it was barely, like maybe a centimeter is how far I managed to open this other door. When the door behind me, the door that goes into the chapel, opened behind me, and I feel like somebody right up on my back, and I got chills, whole body chills. I knew who it was. I knew exactly who it was, and it was kind of our fault. See, there's one spirit there that we call Grumpy. We don't really know his real name, I don't think. But he's in this one room that's downstairs, down this hallway in the basement. Because you go down to the basement and you make a left turn, you're in like the bar area, and there's a kitchen and everything down there. If you turn right, there's like a hallway, and down this hallway there's some there's like a storage room, and I think like another office or something, and then the first rooms you come to, both left and right, is a dressing room for the bride, dressing room for the groom. Well, in the groom's dressing room, there's a spirit we refer to as Grumpy, because that's how he's been. Like he's been very gruff, very grouchy. And last time we were there, we got him to open up a little bit and start to treat us a little bit more nice and stuff, and make him realize some things probably about himself that maybe he'd been fighting with for a long time, like a lot of people like that. They get like that not because they're actually that way, but because they don't want to get close to people because they're afraid of getting hurt. And we kind of pointed that out to him. And so he opened up a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And, but this night, for whatever reason, we didn't investigate in that room. We didn't really connect with him this particular night. Probably because there was so much other stuff going on that we were paying attention to. And so I know it was him. Like, instantly, I knew it was him. But nothing like that had ever happened here before. Like we didn't really have any of them interact with the physical world in that way. Like before, it would just be like little knocks or creaks, or a couple times we heard like faint footsteps, that kind of thing. But this time, he had to physically open the door. And he was right behind me like, hey, I'm pissed off that you guys didn't come talk to me. Was the definite vibe that I got. So once again, you all missed out. But maybe things happened the way they did for a reason. Maybe nobody showed up so that we can get the best investigation of our career. Because that's what it was. And keep in mind, people, We've been to places like the Mansfield Reformatory. I will take this place over the Reformatory any day of the week and twice on Sunday. This place is so active, and it's crazy, and none of it is in a negative way. It is the craziest place I've ever been when it comes to that. It lives up to its name. Cross-eyed moose sounds like a crazy name. Well, it is. It's crazy, but in a good way. It is arguably the most active place I've been in 30 years of doing this. We are going to have other events in the future. I strongly advise that you don't miss out next time. You're going to want to see this stuff yourself. You're going to want to experience it. You're going to want to feel it and hear it and taste it even. The place is insanely active. And yet none of it, not one iota of it, is negative. In fact, I will state for the record, people, that if you provoke, don't do it here. Because if you do, I will boot you out. Because we don't even want to attract anything negative to this location, which is exactly what provoking does. Because you're releasing negativity into the environment by doing that, and we will not have that. So if you're anything like me and you actually prefer a location that's positively charged, this is definitely the place for you. If you're into a place where you can feel them in a positive way, where you can feel that positive energy just surrounding you, this is the place for you. But I'm very happy to announce that GhostWolf Paranormal is going to be basically in charge of all these tours, investigations, what have you, in partnership with the folks at Cross-Eyed Moose. And we are very, very happy about it. We feel like we're part of a big family now. And as a result, we protect our family. So, no BS. That's the only thing we ask, is no provoking, no bullcrap. Just come, have a nice time, get to know the spirits. Maybe you'll even get to know them like we do, and then go home feeling like you've accomplished something, because that's what this place does. It's what it does. It is the most positively charged place I think I've pretty much ever been in. And I've been to the vortexes in Sonora, Arizona. It's a beautiful location. I cannot stop singing its praises. It is insane. Oh my God. Like, we got multiple full-bodied apparitions that night. Because we got Rose down in the basement, and then we got the second one upstairs, right before that chair moved. And I'm pretty sure I haven't even gone through all the evidence yet. That's how excited I am just about the little bit that I've gone through so far, that I had to do this episode of GhostWolf Live. And share this with the world, because it's freaking awesome. You know, I can't say I've investigated everywhere, but I investigated some of the most noteworthy places. Like now, people are tripping over themselves trying to get into now. But I investigated places like the Winchester Mansion before it was popular to investigate. You know, I investigated the Whaley House before anybody even knew what it was or had even heard about it. I've investigated arguably the most haunted locations in the country, both known and unknown, even some in other parts of the world. And this place takes the cake. None of them are as active as this place. And the crazy thing is there's absolutely nothing negative there. And I know that. I know that. Because I've done almost 500 house cleansings to date. I feel it when there's something negative there. Not a thing. Not even a whisper or something negative in this place. Grumpy is about the most negative thing there, and he's not even negative. He's just grouchy. So, I don't know what our next event is at the Moose, but I will definitely be advertising it. I will be posting it all over Facebook, on Twitter. I'm going to be a pain in the ass about it because people need to experience this for themselves. You know, and it's cheap. Our event was only $15 a head. That's nothing. You can't get in anywhere for that. Like, that's not even like half of what they charge to go investigate the Mansfield Reformatory. And this place is more active than that. It's a lot smaller, but still. Not the point. So, our next event, I think we got to figure out when it's going to be, because I know I had suggested maybe not during the winter, because a lot of people don't like to travel so much during the wintertime, but, maybe we'll see. They're absolutely free to do it whenever they want. And we will definitely be a part of it. So whenever they want to do it, we're definitely on board, and we want to make it a good time for everybody. And so come down. This is a place where you could take your kids. That's how not negative it is. And it's so active. It's insane. I've never in my career been to a place this active that was also so positive at the same time. Like, never. I don't think I've ever been in a place this active, period. Because there was so much going on there. Like, it was insanity. It was literally insanely active. And I want to do it again. I want to do it again right now. I want to go there right now just to investigate. I can't. Would have loved to. This place is so cool that I want to live there. That's how cool it is. I want to live there. I want to live in a place like this that is so positive and so active that I would never be bored. I would always have something to do, somebody to talk to. That's how awesome this place is. And it needs to be shared. It needs to be shared with the world. You know, if I had the power to put this place on TV tomorrow, I would do it. In fact, our next event, I may see about putting it in the news. Or, oh shit, I just got an idea. In fact, I need to talk to Jen, the manager there, about this. I just had an idea pop into my head that I think is awesome, and it's going to put us on the map in a big way. And I'll have to talk to her about it and go from there. But if it bears fruit, I'm definitely going to let you all know. And you'll not want to miss it for sure, because it's going to be big. I knew I was doing this show for a reason. Yeah, so like I would play EVPs for you guys, but honestly, we haven't even gone through that yet. Like I found all this stuff, and I'm maybe halfway through just what I caught on camera. Becky, I think, is she's got all the EVP stuff. I don't know if she's analyzing any of it yet. Actually, I haven't spoke to her since the investigation, but holy shit, this is awesome. And that's about all the time I've got for tonight, folks. I want to thank you, my pack, my tribe, for tuning in. Until next time, peace out.